All right, hello and welcome back to King's Quest
Alexander
6.
pulls out his magic map.
So we're going to break out the magic map. And the first thing we're going to do is just head back to the
Alexander feels a strange...
Isle of the Crown quickly in order to pick something up from the pawn shop. We're going to trade in our flute because we now want a different item. And what is that item? Let's see.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
And then this flute.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
And what we want is this tinderbox here.
I believe I'll take the tinderbox.
Very good, Prince Alex. Enjoy your tinderbox and bring it back anytime.
Thank you.
All right. And now we will head out. And for the first time, we will truly explore the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. So once Alexander gets in position, we will use our map.
Alexander
Take
Alexander
a quick magical portal over to the mountain. And we will begin our climb. We solved the first puzzle when we were here previously, which was to spell out the word rise. And all of these puzzles are essentially copyright materials. So within the guidebook or whatever you want to call it, that comes with the the game manual.
Whoa, wait a minute.
That comes with the game when you first purchase it is a lot of information, kind of world building stuff, talking about the ancients and things like that. And included in that is this ancient alphabet.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff.
And materials that help you to solve these puzzles. So this says that a master of languages will, and by reading in the manual, you'll be able to figure out that the answer is soar. And then you will need to use the translator that is in the manual to spell out that word. I believe we have O. I think this is S. I have it pulled out now. S is... Yes, S is this. O, and then A. Might be U? No, A is here. And this is R. Very good. So, soar.
Nothing happens.
Alright, hang on one second.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff.
Might be just because I clicked out of order. S, O, A, R.
The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
Alright, the other thing I'm going to do is quickly pause because it is very easy to accidentally fall
Whoa,
and
wait a-
step off as you climb. It's also very
Whoa.
easy just to accidentally misclick and mess up
Whoa,
the
wait.
puzzles. So if you do
Whoa.
that, you will fall to your doom, and I don't feel like reclimbing all of this multiple times, so I figured it was
Whoa.
best just to have a few
Whoa.
saves whenever I am able.
Whoa.
And all of Alexander's little wobbles do not make this any less annoying, I assure you. So this here is another puzzle where
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff.
again, hopefully I don't mess up, but we want to do 4, 1, 2.
The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
The riddle in the book says something about 4 men standing in a row, and the order you're supposed to select them is the youngest, the oldest, and the second son, which you are supposed to surmise means
Whoa, wait a minute.
1, 4, and 2.
Whoa. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa.
Oh, Alexander, you
Whoa.
are such a delight. If you can click them fast enough, you won't get that wobble, but then you run the risk of accidentally clicking in the wrong location, which is slightly less enjoyable when you just step into thin air and plummet to the ground. Again, gonna pause and unpause.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff.
And now this, the Sacred Four, I'm not really going to spell everything out because there's just a lot that goes into this, but basically there are 4 carvings here that correspond to sacred things that the book speaks about. And ultimately the letters we want are O, I believe this is D, Q, and G. Actually, this might be Q, and that one's G.
The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
And we have one puzzle left, which is a lot less annoying than these other ones. So it's more similar to that first puzzle where the answer was rise.
Whoa.
And we just had to spell it out with the letters that were there.
Whoa.
So clearly they
Whoa.
took their copywriting pretty seriously, because it really is essentially impossible to complete this game without the manual in hand. I'm going to pause and save one more time. Alright, and let's do our final puzzle,
Alexander examines.
which the answer is to ascend.
The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
Had a little moment of fear there where I wasn't 100% certain I knew how to spell anymore, but luckily that went in correctly. Alright, last step will form, and now we just walk up to the
Whoa.
top of the cliffs.
Whoa, wait a minute.
And there we go.
Whoa, wait.
Come on. Alright, there we go. And finally we have reached the pinnacle of the Cliffs of Logic.
Alexander finds himself finally at the top of the cliffs. Exhausted, he steps over the lip of the plateau and stands.
Why do you make such an effort to climb the cliffs, young man? The winged ones who live on this island have the power of flight. You could have it too, if you'd only eat a berry from this magical flying nightshade bush. See? The sweet berries will make you float like a petal on the wind. Try some.
There's one thing I know about Nightshade. It's well known for making you fly. Let's see what the
But
lady has to say.
who are you, matron?
Who cares? I mean, I am only a poor old woman who wishes you well, handsome stranger. Think of me as your grandmama, if you like.
Yeah, I don't think I trust those glowing eyes, so we're just gonna hang around for a sec and wait until this old lady gets bored with us.
try to help you and you insist on being rude.
There we go.
How odd. The old woman just disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Perhaps those berries are even more powerful than she led Alexander to believe.
Alright, now there is this cave here, and we're going to check it out. We just got to be very careful to make sure we don't click on the bush and just click on the cave itself.
Alexander crawls through the small opening in the rock. Alexander finds himself in a dark cave.
And we're going to use our tinderbox. There it is.
It feels exactly like a tinderbox.
Alright.
Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Very nice. Now that it's not quite so dark, we can move further into the cave and see what we're doing. And that there's another opening back here.
Alexander crawls through the opening in the rock.
Reminds me of Rosella, trying to get to the other side of the mountain.
The lighting in this part of the cave is better. Alexander extinguishes the candle's flame and places it back in his pack.
Actually, it feels almost exactly like that. Except there's
The
no
window
random
in the
chasm.
rock is too small for Alexander to fit through.
But what's this?
A plant grows on the grassy ledge. Smells like peppermint.
Mint, huh? Well, the pawn shop owner said that he's out of mint, but I guess this is a resource we could use.
Alexander takes a few leaves from the plant. As he does so, a strong smell of peppermint is released. Ah.
We did find that the genie, in particular, was susceptible
Alexander
to mint.
crawls back into the first room of the cave. Alexander can't see a thing. Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox.
We don't hear that again. Alright, let's head back out.
Alexander crawls back.
We do have this set of doors here, but that's locked up tight. So let's head up to the top of the mountain.
Look, an intruder. Hold! How did you
Intruder?
get up here, human?
I climbed the cliffs.
That is not possible. No one has solved the Cliffs of Logic in several centuries. And if the cliffs were to be solved, it would certainly not be by a human.
I didn't mean to trespass. I only wanted to visit this beautiful island.
No visitors have been welcome on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain in years. Not since the Red and White Queens had spies in the guise of friendly visitors steal our island's sacred golden fleece. But we will not display such foolish trust again. You will have to answer to Lord Azure and Lady Ariel. They will determine what will be done with you. I can assure you, it will not be pleasant.
So the Red and White Queen believe that the beast stole a singing stone from them, and it would appear the Winged Ones believe that the Red and White Queen
With
stole
what
a golden
trickery
fleece
did you
from
master
them.
the Cliffs of Logic and reach the city of the Winged Ones?
Only the magic of clear thought, my lord. I meant no harm.
The Cliffs of Logic. It is the sacred oracle's prophecy, Azure.
Yes, Ariel. It is lucky for you, human, that climbing the Cliffs of Logic is part of a prophecy that I cannot ignore. We have just been ordered by Wazir Al-Hazred himself to dispose of any strangers that might land on our fair isle. But the prophecy would have a different fate befall you.
The prophecy predicts that whosoever climbs the Cliffs of Logic will defeat the Minotaur. The Minotaur has violated our sacred catacombs and eats our young in sacrifice. Our own daughter, Lady Celeste, was taken there only this morning, as his most recently demanded offering.
A dilemma, then. Whom shall I obey in regards to your fate? The oracle or the crown? But since Alhazred did not dictate how I was to dispose of intruders, and since you cannot possibly survive the catacombs, your imprisonment there should serve both purposes quite admirably.
I will not resist you in this, my lord. I shall do my best to save your daughter.
First, I must tell you that the catacombs are a labyrinth of rooms, a place of exceeding danger. You will need many tools and clear wits to survive it.
I am ready.
Very well. My guards will take you there now. You seem courageous enough, but the catacombs will determine how brave you really are.
Challenge accepted. Now, there are 4 items that you absolutely have to have in order to make it through the catacombs unscathed. And I already have all 4 of them, but I am going to, after we go inside here, briefly pause.
Why did you tell Lord Azure you were ready and willing to face the catacombs? No one is ever ready, and only a fool could be willing.
And you are far wiser, I suppose, to leave a maiden to die? To not fight this plague on your own people?
Bravery and suicide are 2 different things, human. You will have a chance to renounce your choice soon enough, when you lay trembling under the Minotaur's hooves.
We shall see. Thanks for the escort.
We only escort you to your death. May the fates make it quick so that you do not have to scream long.
Alright, yes, I'm gonna pause quickly
The
here.
catacombs entrance door is locked from the outside by the Winged One's guards. It seems that leaving the catacombs by that door is not an option.
And just quickly show you the slightly different dialogue that Azure and, not Ariel, what's her name? Is it Ariel? It is. The slightly different dialogue that Azure and Ariel will employ if you do not have all 4 items. So hang on one moment.
Your daughter.
All right.
First, I must tell you that the catacombs are a labyrinth of rooms, a place of exceeding danger. You will need many tools and clear wits to survive it.
Azure, he must be allowed time to prepare for the task, if only in the slight chance that he could actually save our Celeste.
Oh, very well. Intruder, my guards will take you to the beach. Prophesied hero or spy, any soldier must be granted time to prepare for battle. Be warned, if you have the courage to actually return to the Isle of the Sacred Mountain and face your destiny, my guards will have orders to take you to the catacombs on sight.
I understand, Lord Azure.
If by some miracle you succeed, human, the prophecy grants you a visit with the sacred oracle. Her powers are mighty, her vision all-seeing. Many of our own citizens would be willing to risk certain death in the catacombs for a chance at a meeting with the oracle. May that thought give you the courage to return.
Oh, I will return, Lady Ariel. You have my word.
All right, very good. So we get this 1 extra chance if we are not prepared when we first arrive to leave, climb back down the cliffs, and collect any items we may need, but we have everything we need. So instead, I'm going to pause again, and I will join you back in the catacombs. All right, we are back, and this actually is, again, a situation where you can do more trial and error here and ultimately get through. So it's not quite as bad, but you do need the guidebook for this as well, because included in the guidebook is a map of the catacombs. You have to be a little clever to figure out, I suppose, but without that map, you will constantly be walking into pits that just kind of drop you to your death, unfortunately. I forget which one of these we need, but we're actually going to stake a skull in this room.
Alexander doesn't want to disturb that skeleton. He seems to have all his bones intact, and it'd be a shame to break up the set.
Well, this one's alone, though, so...
Alexander picks up the skull.
We will use that later for one of our spells. We'll go back over the list of ingredients later. There is one more... we hear the Minotaur roaming around. One more true riddle to solve. And it'll be particularly tough to tell just because it's hard to see them very well. But I am going to pause quickly just to make sure I don't mess up. Alright, and then the riddle included in the guidebook, or manual, is 3 roses laid upon the bower. So we have 1, 2, 3 roses, a scythe for he who cuts the flower, so the next step on this scythe, and then a crown, a dove, most noble race, thy bones. So the dove is actually up here. And then the bones. And then we are through safely. And thus completes the puzzle portion of the Catacombs here. We do want this shield, which we'll be using in the next video.
Alexander takes the shield from the wall.
This seems like it could be a decent defense against that arrow-firing Cupid that we saw when we got to the Isle of the Beast. Where we ultimately want to go is that direction, but first we're going to head north and 3 steps to the west here, or left, whichever.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
Indeed. We see these 2 glowing items here, which...
Alexander finds 2 coins on the skeleton's eyes. He takes the old coins.
These were likely placed there as payment for the ferrymen over the river Styx, unless I am mistaken, which has happened before. We come in here and find ourselves in a trap.
It's a trap. The doors have sealed Alexander inside. And the ceiling is coming down.
So we have a certain time limit here before we are crushed. But we will use one of the items that we needed to make sure to bring with us, and that is the brick that we got on the Isle of the Beast. We will jam the gears with it.
Alexander throws a brick into the grinding gears. The brick is caught between 2 cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The mechanism grinds to a halt. The ceiling is stuck. The trap is sprung.
Alright, Alexander showing his worth. And then we will continue on over here. Head north. And despite the fact that every other fall in this place kills us, suddenly... Oops.
Sounds! A trap floor!
A lot of time to talk to himself before falling.
Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level of the catacombs. Wherever he is, the place sure is dark. Alexander can't even see his hand in front of his face.
And now we have the second item that we needed in here, which is the tinderbox.
Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Aha! So that's why it's dark in here. A torch is out.
Alexander lights the extinguished torch and puts his tinderbox away.
Very nice. Alright, now this area is, in essence, kind of a large circle with just a lot of pits and dead ends. For example, if we were to go downward from here, that would be a pit to our death, which we don't want to deal with. What we do want to do is try and figure out where this Minotaur is so that maybe we can get a leg up on him instead of the other way around. In order to do that, we're going to need a chance to see this Minotaur without the Minotaur seeing us.
Alexander hears the sound of a wild beast again. This time, so loud that the creature itself seems to be in the same room with him. The noises are coming from the other side of the east wall.
Well, if only there was a way to look through this wall, like, I don't know, with a spot in the wall?
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the east wall.
Hole in the wall, spot in the wall, whatever.
The hole in the wall trembles slightly with dread at the clammy feeling of the stones.
Oh, we actually have to look through it.
Alexander peers through the hole in the wall and sees just another room in the catacombs.
Or is it?
Aha! Not just another room at all. So that's why Alexander couldn't find the Minotaur's lair. At least Alexander now knows the lair exists, somewhere in the maze on the other side of this wall. While Alexander contemplates what he's just seen, the hole in the wall, frightened by the Minotaur, makes a run for it. Alexander hopes the little creature finds its way home to the Isle of Wonder.
How nice and thoughtful. Yeah, so I think the game kind of makes the assumption that you have explored all around and basically discovered that there's ultimately nowhere to go. And so the hole in the wall allows us a way to find the secret lair of the Minotaur. Unfortunately, that wall is about as far away from the location of the Minotaur's lair as it can be. So whether we could either go either direction around the circle, but either way we have to come all the way around, so it doesn't really matter too much which direction you go. All that matters is that you try to avoid the numerous pitfalls, which hopefully I will do. Alright, over one more. Yeah, I think walking down
Alexander
here will kill
hears
you,
a
I believe.
low growling, so faint as to seem born of his fired imagination rather than of any living creature.
And up here is the room that we could see from the other side of that wall.
A very beautiful, very dusty tapestry hangs on the wall.
I am going to quickly pause just in case I mess up. Alright, and now let's head in and face the Minotaur.
This tapestry looks familiar. Now let's see. I don't feel anything. Aha! A hidden latch.
Alexander triggers the little latch. A secret door rolls open.
Okay, let's head in. Oh, there we go.
No! I beg of you! Please don't hurt me!
Your struggles are useless.
It's the Minotaur, and he's struggling with a Winged One's girl. She must be Lady Celeste.
Alright, let's get his attention.
Alexander steps further into the room. The movement catches Lady Celeste's eye. She screams for help.
You there! Human! Help me! Help!
You gotta love the dismissive tone for your only potential hero.
Enter my lair.
I ask you to release your captive or suffer the consequences.
Never. You die, human.
As the Minotaur advances in attack, Alexander slowly backs away. Until he can back away no more.
Now where to, little man?
Alright, and we will now need our fourth and final item to get through the catacombs, and that is something to distract the Minotaur such that he will charge kind of out of control. And how about a bright red scarf for this half-bull creature?
Alexander, his back inches from the fiery pit, tempts the Minotaur with the Red Queen's scarf.
Look here, you bully. Nice, bright red.
Bully.
Red. Now you die.
That happened quickly.
The Minotaur drops from sight amidst the consuming flames. Slowly, his scream fades as well.
Have you been harmed, Lady Celeste?
Bye,
Are you all
Minotaur.
right?
No, I am not all right. I assume you do not intend to leave me tied up on this vile monstrosity.
She's
Of
a
course
delight.
not. Sorry. Let's see. If you'll give me a moment, I'll have these untied in no time.
I can't wait that long. Look, I wear a small dagger just inside my belt. It should be enough to cut the rope.
Oh, all right. I've got it, Lady Celeste. Here we go.
Thank you. You may keep the dagger as a gift for saving my life.
That's very generous.
Forget it. Do you mind if we just get out of here now?
Alexander is a far kinder and more understanding man than I. That is for sure.
The Winged One's guards, bored with the pointless waiting, are startled by the sound of rock moving against rock.
Lady Celeste, bide thee well.
I'm quite well, thanks to the bravery of a mere human. So much for your superior intellects.
Yes, milady.
Now bring him along. I'm going home.
Interesting bird there.
I see you have proven yourself the hero of the prophecy. Well, I am expected to thank you for saving my daughter's life, so I thank you. I am
Well done.
obliged to thank you for the restoration of our sacred catacombs. It means much to our people. We have already begun the process of clearing the deadly traps from its rooms. It is also my duty to grant you a visit with the Oracle, so this I do. I will grant you the freedom to leave here unharmed, despite my orders to the contrary from the Crown. But there, my obligations to you end. I have no love for Alhazred, but he is my liege, and if Princess Cassima trusts him and wishes to wed him, my guards will take you to the Oracle now. When your time with her is through, I want you to leave the city of the Winged Ones and never return. I don't know who you are or what you want here, but I will not disobey my crown further.
I thank you, Lord Azure. I will respect your wishes.
So he did mention that the catacombs are now open, just in case you didn't get all of those items, the
Hail
shield
to thee,
and the
great
coins
oracle.
and the
Lord
skull.
Azure sends you this wingless mail. It appears that he solved the Cliffs of Logic and...
defeated the Minotaur in his lair. So I have seen. So this is the one that haunts my pool of late. Welcome, young seeker. What knowledge do you desire?
Princess Cassima, whatever you can tell me, Great Oracle.
Or not. This is Alexander's second meeting with an oracle. He also was aided by an oracle in King's Quest III, Let me see if... Hang on a moment. The game seems to have stalled out here, so let me just kind of reset us and get us back here. Alright,
So
let's try
this
this
is the
round
one
2.
that haunts my pool of late. Welcome, young seeker. What knowledge do you desire?
Princess Cassima, whatever you can tell me, Great Oracle.
Ah, of course, the princess. That explains my images. Let us see what we can see. I see a maiden, lovely and pure, but surrounded by evil. She is a rose set amidst bitter thorns. It is her fate to be the pawn of dark powers, and yours to try to redeem her.
How? How do I redeem her?
Fate is not like the cut of a blade, young one, but rather like the myriad of paths formed when a hammer cracks ice. I will tell you what I can, but what will actually come to pass is up to you. I see that any attempt to reach the girl will force you into battle, a struggle against a dark force. If you lose, your life will be forfeit.
Who must I fight?
A great darkness surrounds your adversary, preventing me from seeing clearly. I can only make out the shape of a black cloak. But before this final struggle, I see an infiltration, a dangerous game of hide-and-seek in corridors filled with enemies. The risks are high, but it is the only way to reach the one you seek. There is more than one way into this place. Your choice will dictate much.
What else do you see, mighty Oracle?
Oh, such pain. I see two restless spirits crying out for revenge. These shades could help you destroy the dark force if they were to be brought back from their spiritual form. Yet this is only one possible path to your destiny. I'm afraid this is getting beyond me. I know very little about the afterlife. I can only advise getting counsel from the druids. Be warned. The druids are reclusive and dangerous. They might aid you, or they might destroy you. Like their island, the druid's nature is hidden in the mists. There is nothing more I can do for you, except to give you this. It is water from the sacred pool. That and my blessing go with you.
Thank you, Great Oracle.
Alright, so not only did we get some sacred water there, the Oracle also sort of informed us in a roundabout way that there are multiple endings to this game, and that our choices will determine which ending we get. And probably the most important of those choices is how we choose to infiltrate the castle. Now, I'll explore both endings later, but for the time being, I just wanted to pull out our map and show
Alexander
that there is now a fifth isle here that we can go to, the Isle of the Mists, which we will do later in the next video. I'm also just going to quickly look back at our spell book just to see how we're doing. For the magic paint spell, we still need River Styxwater and a black horse feather, but we do have a cup with some swamp ooze. We'll also need a paintbrush, and then I'm not going to cast right now. For the make rain spell, we have a vial of sacred water. We don't have falling water yet, but we do have drops of salt water that are not from the sea. So we're almost ready to cast that spell. And then finally, charming a creature of the night, we have a skull. No hot embers, but we do have a skull. We don't have any sulfur just yet, nor do we have a strand of a pure-hearted maiden's hair. So we got some work to do there. But we will deal with that all next time. But until then, see ya.